I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have this. Dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Hi, everybody. I am dry begging everything technologically to work today, but I am here on an unexpected live stream today. And so if you are joining me, thank you so much, because I did record something earlier today. This is Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray, Queen of Technical Difficulties, covering Sarasota Tim and his potential travel to Virginia Beach this week with 5 days to court. Let me throw out my fair use statement. Hold on. Yes, everything I do is under fair use. This is education and informational purposes only. And yes, I am a registered nurse here in the United States, and nothing I say is giving any legal advice to Sarasota Tim. And any monies raised today allegedly are going to Sarasota Tim's travel fund to Virginia Beach, because he's struggling to figure out a way that he can travel to Virginia Beach to court, not tell his subscribers that he obviously has a looming $30,000 lawsuit in 5 days with me, be able to turn a profit on whatever way that he travels. So he's obviously going to make monetized content. He wants to buy something that he can write off on his channel as a a prop or whatever for his channel, because everything's a write-off. I don't know, Tim, you can write probably off the mileage on your taxes for the travel to Virginia Beach, since it's business related, because you're going to court for business purposes. Your misbehavior with your business, though. Okay, guys, so Tim has been just popping out content. He has been putting out all sorts of stuff. Am I even getting viewer comments? Am I even going to get comments today? Can somebody just pop one comment in the chat so I can make sure it's working? Because I set up the live a little differently today and set it up as a portrait. So I don't know if everything is functioning today. So if you can say hi in the chat, that would be great. Yay! Thank you, Deborah. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Just so I know things are rocking and rolling, because I had it set up originally that it was going to go like for a phone, which we can always do. Like I can set up specifically a stream through StreamYard that does like whatever for the phone. It just looks very odd for me to be on it. Not used to that setup. But I can always produce that video. Like I said, I was not expecting to go live today, so I do appreciate that. I am going to give away some Life and Vibe memberships, and we're going to be really quick. So let's just get into these reacts, guys. And yeah, make sure you give me a like, because like I said, I'm sure everybody's out enjoying the beautiful weather, which is what I had was about to go out and do with the dogs, and give them a big bath. And hey, hi, come on in. And lo and behold, I recorded a video, and it was a quick one too. So I was going to make it quick. If it ever processes, I will release it. But I have a feeling it's in StreamYard misery at the moment. So I made a video this morning about Tim and his Amazon link, and it was really quick. I made a 12-minute video. I was so proud of myself. And lo and behold, StreamYard refused to process my video this morning. It just was doing one of these circle things. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go live. And I was like, but if I do it private, it acts all weird. Because I knew the only way to get a video out was to go live. And I was like, I'm just going to go live. So we're going to go quick this morning, guys. And so I appreciate you being here. And like I said, there's a lot of jokes in this live stream. One is the joke about, obviously, the travel thing. I put in for like $25, I think, or something in chat, joking about Tim's travel, okay, guys? Because Tim always says he has plenty of money, you know? And so this guy is...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, he does. All right, let me get to the reacts, because nobody wants me talking. Okay, 1.5. We're only going to listen to this a little bit, and then we're going to actually look at the video he put out this morning. And he's been going like nuts with the thumbnails. So I've got on the app. Everybody has. Does everybody notice? Oh, and there's a poll too on Nightbot. I totally forgot. All right, let me talk about the poll. Oh, Lord, Ray. There's been a lot going on. There was a guy who changed his channel recently. So, hey, Tammy, I'm so glad that you're here. Nice to see you, Sammy. Yeah, just stop on by. Hey, I wasn't expecting to go live. This was totally impromptu. I had made a video and StreamYard refused to process it. And I hadn't come out with any content because it's a beautiful day. I promise you, I have plans to be outside with my dogs. Not that you guys aren't fantastic. But it's a beautiful day in Virginia Beach. And I am 5 days from trial. And I'm planning to try to do a members only tonight. Trying, but don't hold me to it yet. Because I don't know how tired I'm going to get from washing the dogs who desperately need baths. So I have to get the dogs washed today. So anyway, nobody cares, Ray. But we do have a poll. People may care about that. All right. So Sarasota Tim's been talking a lot about travel. And he's covering all the greatest hits in this morning's video. And is Sarasota Tim planning to travel to Virginia Beach for court on August 13th? Can you believe we are only 5 days away? It feels like it's been taking forever to get here. And because I'm not a delusional narcissist like Tim, it actually is important to me. Tim has had his paperwork out recently, though, but I don't think he understands that all the things that he thinks that he's going to argue in his defense aren't something that is actually corresponding to this case. He hasn't quite understood that he's getting sued for his behavior of his business towards my business. It's nothing to do with copyright and fair use. That just happens to be terms thrown around on YouTube. Okay, so will he be coming? We have an interesting agreement here. Yes, and he'll make money doing it, says 17%. Of course, that's why he's trying to find a way to buy a travel shell or something, or a teardrop or something he can turn into cash later on, so he can, write all of these things off as his expenses for his YouTube business under his Schedule C, so he could write them off under his taxes, get them as, ordinary and necessary, I guess, as part of his business expenses, which they are not. If he was taking a hotel room or something and this was his, and he handled things like normal people, maybe, but he does it Tim's way, which is, he's going to not want to sleep in a tent. He's going to sleep in the bed of a truck. He's going to try to, I would find him horrific to be around. His stuff around dating. He was talking the other night, I think I'm going to save this for members only, about making out with a woman. I thought I was going to vomit in my mouth. I think I did, actually. All right. So 13% say no, I need to just stick on topic. I might be ADHD. No, he is traveling I know I was hyperactive as a kid. No, he is traveling the other way. And 70% say Tim is never traveling, all talk. So the poll again, and I'll just read it. Is Sarasota Tim planning to travel to Virginia Beach for court on August 13th? Yes, and he'll make money doing it, says 16%. No, he is traveling the other way, say 13%. And at number one, at 71%, is Tim is never traveling, all talk. So, and if you think it should have another thing in there, let me know in the comment section down below. And I appreciate you playing. Yeah, we're going live. Thank you for stopping by. I have a black spot on my video. Is it still there? I do. Is that me? What's the black spot? Is it behind me? Is there still a black spot on my video? Is that on Tim? That would be on Tim, not me. I don't know what this black spot you're referring to. I cleaned my camera before I went live. There we go. You really hope? Well, I hope so too. I think I'm certainly prepared And, you know, Tim's been desperately trying to get out of court, as we know. Oh, I have other stuff going on that's fun in the background that I can't even talk about. So all to do with YouTube and the channel. And thank you, everybody who are new subscribers. We are going to still be covering new creators, and I'm trying to figure out an actual schedule and, you know, do things. And, you know, a thing for me is I am somebody who loves to be outside. And obviously my content is me streaming indoors and responding to creators who are just, I've noticed I mean, if people want everybody, if we're going to treat these creators that obviously take our time, our attention, our AdSense, or your YouTube premium, and you're following them for any type of way that they're living their life in order for you to sort of be influenced. I'm always curious if it just really because there's, you know, a fantasy. Is it because it's comedy? Is it like it doesn't really matter if these people aren't who they really say they are? You know, like celebrities, it's just how they package themselves. And if you enjoy their story enough, if they're not absolutely honest about their person, then it doesn't really matter, you know, because their content is good. I'm just curious as to how we see YouTube creators, because obviously there's a lot of folks who like to embellish how they are. Tim likes to embellish that he's debt-free, knowing that he probably still has his care credit, that he may have credit cards, that he's moving cash around for his purchases. He has an EIDL that he pays, and he's written a letter to the courts telling them that he pays on this loan every month. And so, but then he tells, you know, so he's never truthful, lies to the judge, says he's on a fixed income, comes out and literally, you know, has so much evidence to the contrary for the judge to see that he's obviously needed legal counsel. All right. Anyway, let's go, Tim.
We're back to talking. So I was reading all the comments. I answered them. I'm all caught up.
You're a joy.
Listen, I hate to beg you. I do. I catch some criticism, generally from people I don't care what they say. But you folks spend money. I know you buy on Amazon. I get on to Raphael all the time. I don't really get onto her because I said, you know, you just use my link. She's got something coming every day to the door. That woman buys stuff on Amazon. Cheap stuff. But anyway, I didn't make anything on Amazon last month. I didn't talk about it much, and therefore nobody used my link. And the ones that do use my link, well, that smells good.
I want to say my lighting might be funky behind me. I think I think I see the black lines. I think that's to do with how I've got my lighting set up, actually, because I got two cameras. Hold on, guys. I think I know what you're talking about. It's to do with, because like I wear glasses, so I have to, so I think that's to do with like there's it's something to do. I see what you're talking about. It's like literally lines behind me, but it's like I think it's to do with something to do with how my lighting is working out at the moment. So the lighting is not great. I'm not great for that. Yeah, Raffaella. Yeah. Tim is not happy that Raffaella is not using his link. And I think that that's one thing you should always be aware of. Anybody who has any type of business or anything, often the people who care the least are your closest friends and family. You know, you're better building your business fully away. I have not built a YouTube channel on my friends and family, thankfully, because it would be very small. Thankfully, it's built on people enjoying the content, enjoying me doing research. I've been doing more research on lots of different things. So, and in order to produce that much material, it is a lot of work. And so Tim is obviously the king of video slop. And he has also discovered thumbnails, but everybody has discovered. And so everybody's thumbnails, whether it's Sarasota Tim's or somebody who's making commentary around Tim, their thumbnails all look the same, which is why I've done completely new thumbnails. Because I have to distinguish myself.
They just didn't spend any money last month. Hey, I get it. We're broke. Inflation's killing us. But I want to mention real quick, if you would be so kind and you would like to support my channel, I am what they call an Amazon affiliate.
Oh, Tim,
and if you buy stuff on Amazon,
I see these.
hold on, don't panic. It's not going to
I
cost.
see these two black lines behind me, and I'm wanting to think it's something to do with the cameras and how it's doing something. But if I move the cameras too much to me, then people see them reflecting in my eyeglasses, and people hate that. So we're just going to have to live with the circumstances, guys. We're busy over here. We're in the midst of suing this guy. Look at that face. We got a good one to catch up from this morning, though. All right, tell us about how you didn't make any money off your Amazon this past month, Tim. Keep complaining at your audience.
Cost you a penny, not anything extra. You ain't going to save anything either. It's just like we never had this conversation. But if you would go on my YouTube page and click where it says more, really, really small there, or it'll say other links, just look for it. There's an Amazon link. You click on it. When you click on that, magically it'll take you to a pair of, I don't know, some readers or something I got on there. And then you're like, I don't need any readers. And then you go back to the search bar and you put in for that, whatever it is you wanted to buy. And then it will bring you to your product. You put it in your cart, you buy it. And somehow or another, Jeff Bezos, he's the owner of Amazon, he recognized that you used Sarasota Tim Amazon affiliate link when you started your shopping that day. And he says, you know what, I'm going to give Sarasota Tim a little tip, a little commission. You get nothing. You get a attagirl, attaboy. I'm sorry, but it does support my channel. Oh, I got it. Let me get this.
Just, oh my goodness. I think there's only one thing to say at this point.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And I guess we all stink if we come out and ask for money. I guess there's a thing. I guess, and obviously and I joke around because, I have obviously, I moved my thing there. Look, I can go this way. Actually, that's better for today. Actually, that works out better for this. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, look, I can do this. Look, you can do my buy me a coffee. And I do that really just because it's to play on everybody else. And I do really appreciate when I do get buy me a coffees because it does cut out YouTube. Buy me a coffee doesn't take as much. It does still need to be on your taxes. It was on mine. I do use that money to get the dogs treats. I have two, obviously, big pit bulls that are rescues. Everybody uses and exploits their animals. So there we go. So yeah. And there, but that's like all I have. And I have obviously one membership tier with YouTube. I think they said the price went up. I am going to give away 5 memberships today. So that's something that I do every month. I give away 10 YouTube memberships for people to join the Life and Vibe community and to see the members only lives where we get to just hang out and have fun and chat. And so if I have the energy from washing the dogs today, I am going to try to plan to do one. But don't hold me to it, guys. I don't want anyone to get upset if I don't come out live, okay? Because I'm older and I tire easily. All right. Keep going, Tim.
Door open. Hey, turn that down a little bit, Baker. But yeah, the Amazon commissions last month fell off a cliff. It's like, what Amazon? We don't see no Amazon. We don't need no stinking Amazon. So I just want to remind you, I'm going to start reminding everybody every other video.
Tim, people don't shop like you do. Oh, great. Tim is just going to be one old ad. And I understand. Influencers have to make their bag, people. And a lot of people like myself, I do a lot of work behind the scenes in order to create content. And this is how media is moving forward. And so I think holding people and saying, oh, they make money from their channel and being upset about that is not cool always. Since people do put their time and effort and it's not always a hobby. Sarasota Tim's very clear. I run mine as a business. I like many creators, I have a job. And then obviously I have a second business, and my second business is YouTube. And fortunately, I don't make a fortune, but I've had YouTube long enough as a channel that I actually can use it towards anything. If I were to say get a mortgage in the future, they do actually see that as a secondary income. So Tim doesn't need a play button in order for him to be able to walk into Wells Fargo, wherever he banks, and get a mortgage based on his YouTube earnings. You just have to have that as 2 years of a consistent income to show that you have also filed that, obviously, with your taxes, and that income can be considered part of your regular income. So, yeah.
Please consider using my Amazon link to support the Sarasota Tim YouTube channel. If you want to see me travel and you want me to buy a teardrop and to help support my needs to bring you some entertaining and funny and hilarious and comical and critical videos, then help support me. There's also a buy me a coffee.
Well, Tim, I don't understand, because you've said recently that your AdSense has been out the roof lately. You've never had more AdSense than ever before. And I think you're, going to be, having, other stuff, happen as well. Sorry, somebody just sent me a message. And sorry, got distracted. Thought everything was switched off, but I forget that I can't switch everything off with this technology. Everything's connected. Anyway, so yeah, Tim is on one hand saying he has plenty of money. He's showing sales of bikes. He obviously recently sold every one of those e-bikes that he has to review is something that becomes for sale on the marketplace. So there's nothing that isn't for sale in Tim's world that he isn't bringing money in. And so it's just interesting. And he just shops all the time. So I think it's hard for people who may also be finding their finances difficult. Though I think Tim hopes that his audience, though that he's a minimalist, supposed to be saving money, that his audience is extremely well-to-do enough to do, constant Amazon shopping, watches ads all the way through. I mean, it's a lot about just these folks for whatever reason, because they just love Tim so much, and they think that Tim is just such a awesome character, though he shows anything but good character. None of us are perfect, but Tim literally stole golf clubs from a heart transplant patient.
You can really support me. Thank you very much for those that do. All kidding aside, commercial's over. So anyway, I'm going to cook this here. Let's see how it's coming. I gotta buy one of the hamburger shoppers. Take a look. The air conditioner kicked on.
Hey, I mean, if you saw a product, I have products too. I mean, I did recently a medical grade bandage with Demora. And so I would love anybody to watch my video and hit those links, because obviously, even if you guys just go into the links and look around, it helps us out. And then we're not having to obviously have Tim, because there is a lot of time and effort, and people with YouTube, in order to get any type of actual traction on this platform, you do have to be putting out consistent content. Now, as consistently as Tim is, I don't think so. Because Tim is really just, slopping the video out. And now he's just going to be putting these AI, it was like Tim discovered thumbnails, finally, And he is doing so many things he should not be talking about before court. I cannot with him. He's just wild. Okay, we're going to actually not worry about this. Tim just goes on to cook something, and it's not really important. Okay, let's go to Tim's video today. Oops, what's all this? All right. I got all sorts of interesting people. There's everybody talking about their health and, not understanding about really how ketosis works, or getting into any type of, it's so misunderstood, and people still do things and not understand where you can get carbohydrates from. And I think my thumbnail looks great over here, guys. Okay. So any of you who clicked on my thumbnail, I appreciate it today. All right. We're always going to put Tim at 1.5. Hey, hold on, Tim. I love pretending to tell him off. All right. I'm going to beg for one of these, a like, comment, and subscribe, just because we don't usually do lives at this hour on a day at all. So just make sure that helps me out. Timmy has an MO. He makes a dramatic video about he's looking for relationships. Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, yes. I think he does have a new modum operandum that he wants to have, because he notices it gets views. Obviously, the topic of dating in your 50s and 60s is highly clickable at the moment. Lots of people are obviously in an age group where they obviously have either divorced or maybe a partner has passed away, or for whatever reason at 50 in their 50s and 60s, they may find themselves to be dating again. And in the past, I think there had always been more of a no difficulty. I think people had actively been more interested in dating female and males in previous generations once another partner had passed away. My grandma didn't, but there were plenty of folks who did, go on to remarry. And I know quite a few of these folks. But there's a great number of people now. And I think, just talking as a female, and Tim is really, I think this is part of what I find interesting. And this could be just me being an absolute narcissist, is that he is very much trying to degrade and demean the role that women have. Like, he wants them literally like a Stepford wife. And he literally wants them to be in the process of being part of his YouTube content, whether it be a camera person or in the filming with him. And if I was somebody and I knew that somebody had a channel that had historically made the monies that Tim had, I would definitely be having to negotiate a contract. I would not step into any influencer situation and be part of somebody's content and not get a red cent dime out of it. Because these people, when they get a new love interest or any dating or anything, even an old man like Tim, it probably is going to spark interest in whoever watches him, whether it's for actual enjoyment or because they just can't stand him. And so, because Tim gets a lot of rage watch, probably, or rage bait watching, because people don't particularly care for him. So they watch him because they, because he, they're going to see what he's going to say that irritates them. Some younger people actually thinks he's just a goofy old man because they don't notice, they don't notice the difference because they're not older. So they don't notice the difference between older and creepy. Yeah. Hey, come on in. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Miss Vicky. So anyway, I as a single female, I do not want to spend my time, labor, effort, anything on somebody like Sarasota Tim. I couldn't imagine a more horrific individual to allow into my home.
In my life, I love people. I love YouTube. I'm just happy. I don't watch that TV. I don't do anything to bring me down. I woke up, I went to bed, thinking on Jesus, watching AI programs, praying to God, thinking about buying a camper, thinking about traveling, making YouTube, making money.
But Tim, your money is about trying to ask your audience to do Amazon links and stuff. I mean, obviously, I bring out my Buy Me a Coffee, and obviously, I'd love people to join Life and Vibe community. That obviously helps fund our research and mission, because I do a lot of stuff on other people, and even just bring a court case to Sarasota Tim, who has been somebody who attacks small creators like myself. Doesn't understand reaction, doesn't understand fair use, obviously doesn't have time or space for commentary channels. And it's really because I want to have a female voice amongst all of these individuals who are just embellishing who they are. And I know that they are lying to their audiences a lot of times, and they make a lot of money from it, guys. And you're literally funding all of these ill-prepared people's retirement. And a lot of them haven't had great character, and yet they want to come out here and tell the rest of us how to live our lives. And I think that's part of what I find is so abhorrent. Get out of it. Get over yourselves.
Living retirement, living healthy, appreciating the fact that I got Medicare coverage, appreciating I got a free.
Hey, you know what? You complained about the free the other day, so you're just a hypocrite. Stop the hypocrisy, because you talked about it not being free the other day. So it just is whatever suits you, Tim.
Check coming in. Appreciating I got a supplement check coming in, a side hustle. I'm appreciating everything I have. I'm so grateful. And yet, I should
say, this is tried to buy a small camper, but wasn't meant to be. This is the video Tim just put out this morning. So we're looking at Tim's latest video, guys. I forgot to preface all that stuff.
More, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Great.
But first, let's get some coffee going. I'm already hopped up, as you can tell. And I'm just going to make a quick cup I just put my eye drops in, so my eyes were looking. Not to mention, I was up late last night with my new girlfriend. No, just kidding. We're going to talk about girlfriends too. Oh, my, who are these people out there? Well, we know who they are.
Yeah.
Oh man, living rent free in people's minds. That's another blessing.
I think I'm more rent free in yours at the moment, Tim. But my rent is going to cost you $30,000 because you are not a nice person on YouTube. And I know that you had lots of opportunity to behave yourself and you chose not to. So that's going to be naughty, naughty.
All right. I want to talk about making this coffee. Let me pour a bottle of water in there. I don't have my microphone on. Hopefully the AC doesn't come on and destroy the audio here. Get in there. All right. I didn't do the 2 filters like the guy suggested. You're absolutely right. The water will still drain through just as fast, even if I put it on dark. Well, let's try dark. I've actually never even used it. It's got a switch here. Strong. Let's try strong. Strong is on.
I don't know why he's doing that when, well, one, he looks like he needs his glasses. I stopped the vanity a long time ago. The second I was finding that I needed to wear contacts and then wear my readers with my contacts, that was the time that my contacts needed increased and I don't really even like contacts, to be honest.
Yeah. There's a little light there indicated.
I might get them again. I don't know. I find them a hassle. They get stuck in your eye. They're a hassle.
It's on. All right. We want to go over a few things. You like my new background setup? I'm using this other
yes.
selfie stick I've got there. It's pretty nice, actually.
I don't watch the Russell channel at all. I have no interest. Jeb, unless I have interest in some things and not others. So he's put out way too much content. It's become a video slop fest. Too much.
It's got good feet on it. Nice wide feet for the bottom. All right, where do I begin? I got a lot to talk about. First of all, last night, no evening.
But yeah, I have a feeling they're trying to sort of create obviously views between each other. Russell from having talked to Jeb and Jeb talking to Russell. So obviously, I mean, that's something that people do. I've had creators on, not in that type of relationship with somebody I've made commentary over, though, because usually I'm obviously looking at people with quite a critical eye, so they don't tend to want to be friends with me. But that's what commentators and reactors do. I don't understand what people don't. And obviously I'm going to try to find out things and verify. So there's been some really interesting things with some other channels recently that I've made commentary and done research on, and how they've changed their channel names and stuff. I mean, it's wild.
Chat. I have been yesterday complete, because you know me. I get on something, that's it. I was completely consumed with buying a smaller camper. I got money in my pocket, burning a hole in it. I'm ready to buy. And I almost bought at least 3 times yesterday. But just like when I decided about not selling the Crusher, aka the F-250 Super Duty, I had to rationalize my mind, and also hopefully God was telling me, no. You've been down that road. It's just like relationships. We're going to do that next. All these repeat. Hang on, I got to go. Got a phone call here. Already. Well, I don't know where I left off.
It's just so professional. Tim, you're in court in 5 days. Give me a like just for that, guys.
That was an hour ago at least. I had a lot of calls starting to come in and inundate me this morning on people wanting to follow up with my message I left about buying their camper. Where's my coffee cup?
Oh.
Got it right here. I'm too hopped up. I got so much to talk about. Well, first thing.
That's because Tim's trying to figure out how to get to court, because he realizes that every one of his efforts to try to get out of court in Virginia Beach. I need to make a video on his last letter. I actually got it properly scanned so it's not all crumply and wrinkled yesterday. And he really, I think, thought that was going to be something that was just going to, just blow the judges out of the water. Be like, yes, he needs to not be. None of this is going to be adjudicated in a letter. You got to come to trial. That's it. I don't think he understands. He's so all over the place. So now, instead of being a normal person, he would just like book a hotel room or something and just had 118 days to get this organized. His focus has been, praying to God or whatever, that he's not going to have to go to court. And I think he just does not understand. He is going to court. And he's already in so much issue.
I did yesterday at Walmart go back to my heavy whipping cream.
Well, congratulations.
If you're going to enjoy something, you need to enjoy what you want.
Hey, Jay, how are you? So check Jay out. He's moved to Rumble because it's he can be feisty about Tim on Rumble, guys, because YouTube, you got to use special language. Tim is an extreme introvert, thrives on YouTube while struggling in person to interact with people. You would notice this immediately if you met Tim in person. So it may not be easy for Tim to just meet someone and start dating guys, because in reality, as much as he is seemingly this extrovert, but this is a salesman persona. And so Tim is probably somebody who does put these personas on. And when he's the persona of being this, it's probably very comfortable. With Tammy, he probably long had to forget the persona and could just be his probably worst self to be around. She probably is not, sometimes even when you've been in relationships that aren't great, it's probably going to take her a year or two to kind of get over it and get through it. Especially if he was particularly narcissistic, it can be really hard. And I just can't imagine. I can't imagine being in a relationship with somebody like Tim. It'd be exhausting.
We're half and half all day, every day. So I got just a little spit left here.
And happy anniversary, Brian. Sorry.
Turn this thing off.
I wanted to make sure I highlighted Brian too.
Man, I need help.
Happy anniversary, Brian. I hope your 40th wedding anniversary coincides with not only obviously the great luck that you've had in sustaining such a long and wonderful marriage, but for me to be able to take Tim on that day. So I am hoping that August the 13th becomes a lucky day for me too. And so I'm hoping, I need to get my Catholic friend to send out some prayers. I need to text. She's deeply Catholic. I mean, like deeply Catholic. So I have so many pictures of Jesus and stuff around the house, guys.
I get on this track. I haven't left that chair. All I'm doing is calling people and looking at ads. And I've gone all the way around the world on price ranges and styles. Well, I think I got it narrowed down through my Baker process of elimination. I don't want anything, again, that is only good to lay down in. The fact that it's small, don't know what's back there.
He does talk occasionally about Teddy and Jolene, but he's not mentioned about going up to the New York Arondikes. Oh my gosh, I know that I have to say that the worst way possible. Arondikes. Oh Lord. Anyway, he's not mentioned, and he's had all summer to travel there. I mean, he's just obviously he really doesn't want to do it. Take a look behind him if he ever moves. The other day, he had his paperwork that looked like the one that he's been sending to the court. The last letter was sitting there. I guess he's trying to memorize his defense. Doesn't help when you don't have any evidence to go with it.
I can use it at Love's Truck Stops. It's just a place to sleep. It's got a little galley in the back to cook. But really, if you're not ready to go to bed, those little teardrops that you lay down in, you can't stand in, and have no bathroom in, that's all they are, is a rowing bed in a box. And you're going to spend thousands of dollars. And when I say thousands, I mean anything over 5. That's thousands. You got to get what you want. And what I want, my criteria, I discovered. I said to myself, Tim, what is your criteria? Like a woman. My criteria is I got to be able to come through a door and be vertical. I don't want to have to go.
Tim says the most misogynistic, just underhanded remarks about women. He really thinks that women have no function other than to look like ornaments and cook food and then service Tim in one way or the other, whether it's servicing him literally to the point that, we've got Tim doing one of these.
I can't even get erect.
He's got a coronary artery calcium score of over 1,500. So that's making me think that it's going to be hard. And he wants him servicing his laundry and his meals and just And while Tim runs around and plays and makes YouTube money, and this poor woman getting not a red cent from that. So just using her time, her labor, he wants to hole up in her property, maybe toss her a couple of hundos for rent, and then probably come around to the start of the month and complain he doesn't have it after he just popped $9 grand on a motorbike or something worthless like that. I could just imagine. Oh my God, it'd be horrific. All right, keep going, Tim.
Go in the door horizontal. I got to be able to stand up. I don't care if it has a stove inside or outside. If the weather's no good for cooking, I'll wait till the sunshine comes out, or I'll stop and get something at a gas station or a choke and puke. But I got to be able to stand up in it. And the second thing I need is a bathroom. I don't care if it's a cassette. I don't care if it's just a wet bath. I don't care what it is, but it has to have a bathroom in it.
Yeah.
I'm not putting on my shoes, crawling out of a coffin, and then making my way somewhere in a campground or a gas station at Love's or whatever to use the restroom. I want to be able to have it right there.
Well, yeah, because Tim doesn't want to have to crawl like that out of the camper for a court case. Tim, just stay in a hotel. Just rent a car. Just do normal people stuff. He just can't. He can't be normal. God, he would drive me nuts.
If I can have, and it be small,
Hey,
stand up
Carol.
and have a bathroom. If I can make that simple criteria, then I'm interested. And that weeds out a lot of the, many of them are for sale that are the coffins.
If he had it set up like JJ has his set up, then I would be like, go for it, Tim. Because JJ genuinely has a setup, but Tim doesn't. Just all talk. 5 days, guys.
They're cool. And I was all about that, thinking that's exactly where I need to go again. And bushwhackers, there's plenty of them for sale. Not plenty, but there's some for sale. And some nice ones, like hardly ever been used. But guess what? That's why. You can't get out of it. You can't get in it. And there's no bathroom. And you can have the best night's sleep of your life. But until you're ready to go to sleep, you got nothing. I got to get the microphone. Sorry. All right. Air conditioning.
Why would you not start with your microphone knowing your air conditioning is going to, gosh, Tim looks great. Knowing that your air conditioning, you know that thing going to pop on, Tim.
Came on as usual. You know it's going to. Should have put it on already. So I'm looking for something like that. And it is kind of rare. Now, when you narrow it down, obviously when it's something that you want, you can't find it. Like me when I wanted to buy the gold wing or whatever. It was only.
And of course, he's like 5 days to court. And he's trying to figure this all out. Because this is Tim. And the judge isn't going to care. So he's either going to get into a default judgment. I think I even can show that paperwork, guys. I don't think people need to see it over and over again. Let me see if I can find it.
The color I wanted. There was only a transmission I wanted. And I want what I want. So I think I found it. And then I compared it to something else that I saw. I'm like, oh, there's 2 different sizes here with the same names, similar names. I'll tell you what, I could be an RV salesman now. I know all the brands, all the sizes, their letters, like the FKBS here. There's a lot to know. And I watch the YouTube videos. After I find one I like, there's always a YouTube video on.
All right, there it goes. Just to share it real quick. Here's Tim's court order that we had. This is what was, I'm the plaintiff. Here's Mr. Baker. He's been ordered over to the, I'm going to hide you guys for just a second. Ordered to court. So I had my bill of particulars in, and that was confirmed by the courts. It was in timely manner. I confirmed, obviously, Tim's court ordered on the 29th of May, his grounds of defense. So anything after that he sent, these letters, all of these other things, the WebEx request, because there's a motion to compel an email. He was subpoenaed for an email. He said the email was deleted. I then put a motion to compel because Tim has been put on legal notification for quite some time now. And the day that Sarasota Tim decided to start using YouTube's copyright system in order to take down channels that he did not like the people of, and we have 100% preponderance of Tim's thought process around this, There's no gray area. I have 100% proof that Sarasota Tim used specifically, and then after this case and everything's done, I'll show you what the proof was. But we have the proof, and Tim has seen it. It's not free speech when you're posting these things. That's just, he misunderstands what free speech is. And so I have clear evidence that Tim clearly stated that he uses YouTube's copyright system. Hey, June, it's okay, sweetie. To take down people's content. That's what he used it for. And he tried to do it to mine, and I refused to let him do it. In fact, I refused to let him do it 11 times. It's amazing I'm still up as a channel because of how many times he wanted to take my voice out of this platform. So he's been ordered to court. It's not a copyright case. It's not a case about fair use. It's a case about this individual trying to take my business down, a legitimate and monetized business here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and that he conspired to do it. That's what it is. And he had to have everything in, and he was denied his WebEx, and he has to bring the email, and he's going to be in problems for spoliation of evidence, because the second he started talking on YouTube almost two years ago, probably around 2 years ago, about using it to take down people he didn't like, he should have realized that he was going to face some type of legal action at some point by some creator. Somebody was going to turn around and not deal with his nonsense. And that person happened to be me. And so he has to show up to court on the 13th of August. Not only he has a trial, he has a motion to compel this email. So he was never going to get a WebEx in a million years. It was never going to happen. So that's what's going to be doing. It'll be interesting to get the details. You can't reveal that now after the trial. Yeah, I can't reveal anything because obviously it's evidence into a trial. I mean, it's all there, but we're in Virginia General District Court. So all the things around discovery and any of those complexities of a lot of trials do not exist. This is not a copyright case. I am not having an argument about copyright. I do have copyright on something though. So this is what copyright looks like. Okay, this is copyright. I do have copyright on the video. Okay, so this is what a copyright looks like, and I will be using this soon. So that's what copyright looks like. Okay, Sarasota Tim doesn't have anything that even looks like this. Okay, and so that's where he's in deep misunderstanding, and he needs to get to court. Okay. But that's his order. And all of these other things that he tried to submit, just countless. I mean, just he's been on a tear, folks. He's been on a tear trying to get the courts to give him a WebEx. And they're like, nope. They're not letting it happen. All right, keep going, Tim.
Either a dealer's promoting it and walking around it, or the owner has it, you're getting the honest review. And so it is a teardrop, it is small, it is a stand-up unit, and it has a bathroom in it. That's what I want. And there's only a few brands out there, and the price range, though, is all over the map. These people, either there's something wrong with it.
I think he is going to try to show up because I think he realizes it's a lot of money, and I think he realizes that all of his other options did not work. And Tim is suddenly realizing that he is on the hook for a $30,000 judgment. And I think he thinks he can come to court and talk his way out of it. And that's not how Virginia General District Court, they're going to shut him down so fast. They would have already looked at the case based on all the evidence, all those things that we were ordered to hand in. Reason being is that the judge can get through these heavy dockets really quick. It's like a 15-minute case. It's not going to give Tim a chance at anything. There's no introduction of new evidence. He's going to hear Tim talk about this federal thing. He's going to toss that out the window and tell him that's not what he's being taken to court for. He's going to look at all of the evidence and all the cease and desist and all the things that I did to legally put Tim on notification and look at the preponderance and all of Tim's shenanigans and still rule in my favor. So it doesn't really matter if he shows up or not. He might as well save the money because the judge isn't going to let him talk his way out of it. He's not going to let him slander my character. He's not going to care. He's not going to care about his YouTube internet drama at all. Second, he starts to talk about that and the judge sees his AI shite, he's going to shut him down. So if he wants to come and get humiliated, I look forward to it because I can tell the audience all about it.
Very suspect because it's cheap, or it's in the average, retail price, or people are way out of their gourd looking for double retail. And then,
Yeah, I think
nothing is in town here. Everything is far away from me. So now I got to try to ask all the questions and negotiate somewhat or feel them out over the phone, which I hate to do. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to me. But I'm not going to just drive all over the state every day looking at different ones to see, how low they'll go in the price. First, I want to make sure I want it. It doesn't have any damages or things like that. Anyway, I dealt with a guy. He's cool. I dealt with this lady. She's cool. And some other guy was selling it for another guy, and he had it listed. All right, so let's move on. The camper thing took all my time yesterday and this morning. I can't get out the door. It's like those reels and stuff I was looking at. It's stupid. It's addictive. I'm hooked. I got to put it down. I got to forget it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to forget it. I had that money in my pocket spent double times the amount, half the amount, 3 times over already in the last 2 days. I'm done with thinking about it. But I know one thing. The whole idea about putting it all to bed.
That sounds like an injunction waiting to happen to me, Tim. It's very good news is that Virginia allows for the introduction of phones to show evidence. And so there will be an injunction placed on Tim. Have fun, Tim. We're just going to have so much fun.
And just getting in my truck and going with a tent ain't going to work.
I don't think it is. I think it's a male.
I can sleep in a tent for a night at a campground.
If it's the same judge that we've had, it's been a male judge. But I'm sure he's already dealt with some of Tim's shenanigans, so he's not going to be impressed.
A weekend.
He's not going to be able to. They're not going to just. They really deal on like strict evidence in these trials because they're so quick and they really run on procedures. So if Tim doesn't understand, and they don't care if you're pro se. So if Tim doesn't understand how the court works and does anything, he could land himself. He's already in trouble for spoliation of evidence. So he's facing very serious business torts. Now they may be civil, but they're pretty serious.
But I can't sleep in the tent at a Love truck stop. When I pull into a Love truck stop and I'm just trying to move on the next day,
there's no love. Hey, there's no Loves in Virginia. So not at least in Virginia Beach, so I'm aware of. Maybe one, I don't know. Maybe out in Emporia or somewhere. I think it's the last one that I know about by Suffolk. I think we have a Love's truck stop. Anywhere near inside the city of Virginia Beach. Oh, JJ knows that Tim is going to have he's going to have a heck of a time here in the city. This place is very busy. I think Sarasota busy.
It's not going to let me pitch a tent in the parking lot. And I don't want to
they
sleep
are
in a cabin.
not.
Well, more days than not, as I go out and start traveling again, I'm going to be in the truck. And I don't want to have to sleep in my truck more days a week than not. I want to be able to get out of the truck at dark, no driving at dark, go around to the back, open the door to a camper and dive in and lay on a bed. So I have to have a camper.
Well, that sounds great for court because I'm going to be in the comfort of my condo, having seen some friends the day before. I'm going to get up because the trial's at 9:30. I'm not too far from the courthouse, maybe 20 minutes drive. And at that time in the morning on a Thursday, it's not going to be too bad for the traffic. All the base traffic would have gone in. I'm going to come out of the comfort of my bed and into the AC of my condominium here in Virginia Beach, right here at the oceanfront. I can slide into my shower, get my dogs a nice walk, get a little nice breakfast and some coffee, make my way over to the courthouse. Comfy. Not having had to even think about going out of state to take this man to court.
A trailer. If I travel. 1, I'm not pulling this one. 2, it's got to have that criteria. All right? Enough said. Second of all, it's just like the criteria on those videos I made about a woman. And then now I've decided that I do not need to change my life. Like I don't need to pull this. I don't need to sell my truck. I come to that resolve by looking at all the different ways about it. This whole thing about wanting to.
I have a feeling unless there's something that it probably is going to be, because I saw that same judge like on my small claims. And then when I went over to the other part, now it could be a different judge, but I have a feeling it's probably going to be the same. We'll find out though on Thursday, guys. Less than a week away. I can't believe it. Tim trying to figure out how to sleep in a teardrop, guys. Could it be more beautiful? Could it be more? Can we get more sweet, sweet justice over here? I'll give it away a couple of. We got a poll going, 89 votes. Let's get this poll to 100, and I'll give away some free Life in 5 memberships. Let's get to. Why not? Let's do the absolute ultimate YouTube. I haven't even had one contribution to Tim's travel fund, so that's sad, Tim. Nobody even wants to see you travel to Virginia Beach. So what the reason?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I guess it's because you stink, Tim. Nobody even wants to. Not one dime to your travel fund. All right, if I get to 100 votes on the poll, I'll give away some memberships.
Completely change a life that I finally got back to, and throw a wrench in the, you know what I mean? No, not gonna do it. I'm out. Because it's a difficult situation. And at this point, I'm good enough. I'm happy enough. It's not like I'm this lonely guy, or, some people are. So unless it falls into my lap, that's the only way. Not gonna happen. But I do want to address, it's not my community. Even though they think they are, say they are in the comments.
Oh, no, he won't be called.
About judging.
Oh no, he will not be. That request for a WebEx was denied. So no, there will be no courtesy pre-trial phone call like he had last time. That was really just for the judge to, make contact with an out-of-state defendant.
About thinking about.
Remember, none of the things I say is legal advice, but I certainly have been studying the law in the Commonwealth, especially with business tort. And one of the reasons why I will never move from the Commonwealth of Virginia. I was thinking about moving to North Carolina, but then when I actually started, I might go close to the border, but the likelihood of me leaving Virginia and remain as a content creator is probably unlikely, because the laws to protect my business here in Virginia are so good that I don't want to leave. Why would I want to leave a state that I can actually bring somebody who's done harm to my business from out of their own state to face the courts here in my own hometown, in my own general district court?
Meeting a woman and finding love again and wanting love or a relationship and all that goes along with it. Like, I can't watch you anymore, or I used to watch you forever and share your videos. Meanwhile, this person had.
Tim complained so hard about just taking that flight to do his nonsense with the Goldwing. He actually, I think, wanted Tammy to drive him back to Georgia. And I think she thankfully said no, because that was his own shenanigans.
One comment they've ever left, that one, and joined, 3 months ago, YouTube. It's just these detractors out there that are trying to come into the comment section to influence others. So like, yeah, you're right. We need to judge him because he's acting human. Oh, God. So anyway, I saw a couple comments. I'm like, my moderator sent me one saying,
oh my goodness, Tim, get over it with your comments. It's engagement. What do you expect? You tell people that you're a Southern Baptist and you love God and Christ and all of this stuff. And you talk about wanting to shack up with a woman who obviously shares your religious beliefs, but doesn't need to actually follow through with any, legal marriage, because you wouldn't want to be the hook on the other divorce again, or someone getting your YouTube assets or whatever. So people don't see that as being particularly in line with the teachings of especially Southern Baptists. When you get, especially in the real Christian nationalist, strict trad wife type of religious thinking that you tend to proliferate most of the time, Tim. You just don't understand what a hypocrite you seem. Because you're a hypocrite. You are literally a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, Tim. And everyone, other people might not give to you half your audience because they're probably not particularly religious. The ones who are particularly religious, yeah, they're going to take this as you being not, and then you put out all those crushing it for Christ. It's just, he's been talking more God ever since this court case started. Tim has been a holy roller since February of this year. He always had a crushing it for Christ, but he started really getting his And guess what? Jesus denied your WebEx. In fact, I need to bring this character out again. Hold on. I have him somewhere. I'm going to have to bring him out, guys. I'll have to look for him. Keep going, Tim.
This one. So we got rid of it. We love comments. We love criticism. We love respectful criticism. We love all of that. We love differences of opinion. I'm speaking in third person. I love it. But I don't go for how long would you listen to me if I started judging you or telling you how you need to live or run your video channel or where you should live or who you should be with? You know, it's just unbelievable. I'm just hopped up right now. And I read a couple things this morning. I laughed out loud.
All right, Tim. This is, you're such a hypocrite. I'm going to have to bring this person out. Hold on, guys. Just so, because otherwise it just pops up. All right. That's the way StreamYard is. There we go. He saw that, Tim. Jesus saw that. I used to have him in here as a character. Do you remember I used to have Jesus as like the second character with Tim? With me. We've been watching Tim. Because Tim is so funny. All right. Tim, Jesus is watching you. He knows you're going to court too. And he doesn't really want to reward you. His reward is actually you having some repentance and going to court, feeling bad about what you did to try to do to somebody else's channel who's trying to tell people that you give bad medical misinformation. This carnivore diet is garbage.
So yeah, no relationship, not selling my truck, not going to pull this camper ever again. I may or may not buy another camper and travel because I do want to do that. And so that's the game plan. For now, I got to put it to rest. I got to go out and do some exercise, work out at the gym, work on my tan, get my truck washed. The rain is, it's muddy out there, but it's no water ponding. The sun is shining. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Look at that mud right there.
Yeah, it's just like a boys' hug box over there. But all terrible people trying to help each other out. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm not also trying to prop up people who, have potentially, done things to children. Not like that, but just, not cared for children the way they were supposed to. And Jeb has a history of abusing children under the age of 12. And I think a lot of it was that he wasn't paying his child support and just neglectful behavior. And they just all say it's just a mistake. But it's like, decades of this behavior. It's like, well, after a while, it's actually the character. And I understand life is hard. Things are hard. People don't get every opportunity. And I try to be understanding. And people hear my accent and assume that I had given some, very protected lifestyle growing up. And like many kids growing up in my particular decade in the 70s, no, I didn't. I had a teenage mom and absent parents and had to kind of make my way from a really early age. It's probably why I don't like bullies.
Over there, it's drying up. Hey, look at that. Let's go to the beach or something. They're predicting about 3 or 4 o'clock, but I think it's kind of partly sunny all day. So today's probably going to be a very good day. If it dries out really good, I might even hit the driving range later. My butt stopped hurting. Muscle pain. I got rid of that. Didn't sleep worth a darn last night.
You haven't been sleeping much at all lately, Tim. That's God keeping you awake for all your misdeeds against people like me. He's trying to figure out now 5 days. He's had 118 days, guys, to come. You see that when that order was written sometime in April. 118 days he's had to organize everything to come to court. He, I think, seriously believed that if he prayed on it hard enough, I guess he's delusional enough and narcissistic. It's all narcissism, okay? It's not really because has a deep connection to God. Tim just has a deep connection to Tim and getting the best for whatever is the best for Tim. And none of these people like any type of voice being said. And there's so many. Yeah. Could I have a channel sitting here talking about, having gone to grad school and my thoughts on, women and feminism? Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of get to say it, but I also get to say it through reacting to creators. It just makes it a little bit more interesting to me. They don't like it. I understand. They don't like me criticizing their channels. Oh, well.
Dreaming and I don't sleep well. Too much caffeine, man. Too much caffeine. Diet. 200 pounds. Went from 199.8 I think it was yesterday. I mean, 200.
I promise you, if I came out and talked about my diet, how much my weight, I just know there comes, if this was said by a female of Tim's age, it would just be taken in such a different manner. It just really would. It wouldn't be taken as lifestyle advice. It'd be taken as bragging or something. I don't know. And just for this particular individual to assume that he has so much that he needs to share 5 times a day on YouTube, it's just beyond me.
Basically,
especially when he's talking about carnivore diets and things around health and wellness that he's been explicitly told not to discuss because he has no education. And I literally need to have the judge include it in a judgment that he is never to talk about anything around health because his information is so dangerous. It was part of my cease and desist because Tim is somebody who never should talk about anything to do with health. His carnivore diet is the worst. It's not even about the fact that he does or does not adhere to it. It is the fact that literally that diet has been classified as the worst diet possible by the American College of Cardiology and the American Heart Association and any type of group of doctors that covers cardiac and heart health. It is the worst. And the fact that he doubles down on it and thinks it's like funny is just fine. You take your heart out on your time, but just continuing to perpetuate the lie is just awful. And it's just, he doesn't care. It's all about making money at the end of this day. This man has no ethics. I cannot wait to drag him into a courtroom in 5 days. And I can't wait for the judge to shut him down because he's not going to listen to him at all. He's going to ask him where his email is that he's been subpoenaed and motioned to produce. And then Tim is going to talk about something the judges and the sheriff are going to shut him down in like 3 seconds because they don't have time for that. They have a heavy docket. And then he's going to get hit for spoliation of evidence because he's been notified a long time ago to keep his stuff. Second he made his first strike on anybody's channel, that was the time that Tim literally said to YouTube, I'm going to start to take legal action on people. That's the time he put himself on notification that he shouldn't be getting rid of anything from his business. That's your fault, mate, not anybody else's. Pay for it.
Gain much. And, it could be because I had a couple glasses of water or something. Holding right there at 200 from 202, 203. That's good. The carbivore diet is working out.
Well, that's good.
I get a lot of advice in the comments.
That's okay, because if he doesn't show up, we get an automatic default judgment right here. Look here at the bar. The trial will be held on 8/13, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. Out of courtroom, failure to comply with the order or failure to appear at trial may result in an adverse judgment. And I promise you, they don't mind. If you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed and you produce the right evidence like I have, the judge is not going to have any issue with signing off on a default judgment on this guy. They do it all day in the Commonwealth of Virginia. No cares. The judge has made sure that Tim has no place for appeal. That's the only thing they care about. Can Tim appeal this case? No. Did Tim even put forward a defense? No. Is Tim absolutely needing to have had an attorney? Yes.
Comments too about pro-carnivore, anti-carnivore. That's why I went for carbivore.
Yeah, well,
both.
He would literally have, he can't just say that. You have that. There are very strict rules around that, Bertie. So it's not easy. I think Tim knows that. You can't just make stuff up. They have to have all sorts of stuff signed off and stuff. It's you don't mess with courts, man. It's not like calling out for a class.
I'll eat a carb. I'll eat a salad. I'll eat a vegetable. I'll have a cookie if it's Raphael.
Yeah, but you can't make up a medical emergency because we have far too much actual diagnostics, and they have to have he has to have all this paperwork signed off. So it's more paperwork for Tim that he's not very good with.
So I ain't scared.
He can't just call a court and say he's had a medical emergency. There has to be like certain forms and stuff completed. So it's not that simple, because otherwise that's just a failure to appear.
But one thing that I will agree with everybody is you gotta cut those portions down, Baker. You know, even if you eat eggs and hamburger, but if you eat a pound of hamburger and 4 eggs, it's a lot of food.
It's just garbage for your heart too, Tim. Just absolute garbage. I've been reading a new study on it recently. Nobody wants to hear that. Quit the nonsense. And none of you are getting to the ketosis or anything that you're fat burning or anything. You're just, causing all sorts of damage to your kidneys and then atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. There's absolutely no way. There's no studies that are ever going to be held on this diet specifically as the carnivore diet, as you purport it to be, because it'd be unethical. And anything around keto or ketosis is like really specific medical diagnoses around like polycystic kidney diseases and seizure disorders in children. And they're really very tightly controlled and managed, because I've had to make this a literal diet every day for months, like whipping between multi-chain triglycerides, and there was like some other like formula and milk powder and a certain amount of salt and all of this stuff that had to go in to create this diet for a J-tube. And also all these people who talk about getting expensive blood work done, that doesn't make sense either. You can pee on a stick and see if you're in ketosis, get a whole thing of urine sticks for $10 off Amazon. Blood work, just ridiculous.
But it's all working out. I'm a 200-pound guy. It's all there is to it. So the diet will continue. Exercise is never going to stop with me. I do need to get my walking going again. I'm embarrassed to tell you how little, when I look on my phone on the pedometer, I have an app instead of the health app. The last several days, it shows it on there. It's just,
gosh, Tim, not one person's made one contribution to your travel fund. That's sad. Oh, we're at 100 votes. Okay, I can give away some memberships. All right, and then we're going to finish out in just a minute so we can all get on with our day. All right, there we go. Who got some membership? We're going to send 5 now. All right. That goes to Kemp. Oh, he's here for the foodie content. Kemp's here for the foodie content. I haven't done foodie in a while. I hear she's going back to Syria. That sounds like a bad plan. Catch Chloe, Cat Chloe, Mandrews, XL, Sheik Ken, and Raging Raw. Well, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed the memberships. I don't know if that's really going to be anybody's jam. Look at me go. There we go. All right, keep going, Tim.
Embarrassing. And why? Because I've been sitting there looking at reels or looking at RVs and just, it's a waste of time. I tried to call this lady back.
I think he said one time in one video, he talked about he was getting sued when he was raging about something one day. Probably his views were going down before he discovered how he can make thumbnails.
Just a few minutes ago, and she won't answer now. And so I texted her and she wouldn't return my call. And then I tried to call her again because after I looked at her ad further, she actually has a lot closer than everybody else.
Good to hear from you. I see boys, you out your mind. A little bit for me too. Good to catch you in one of my Tim streams. Catch us all the members only too, sweetheart. Good to hear from you.
What I want, but something's preventing me from getting through to her.
Oh, she took a break. Remember? She told Tim right after the golf club, and I called her out. Oh, don't worry. She's mentioned in the court case. Angel Mission is somebody who's part of Tim's circle of jerks. I didn't say that word. I said circle of jerks, in my opinion. And Tim says to that,
I can't even get erect. I think it is. I believe
the problem with the
I am
teardrop.
protected and guided because he knows me. He knows that I don't look both ways before running out into traffic, that I'm impulsive. And praise God for that. It's the same thing with the truck sale, the same thing about meeting a woman. Most of my life, I've been rolling like I am, and I'm going to continue to roll that way. I don't need it, folks. I don't need it. I don't need a 150,000-mile truck and get rid of a brand new one. And I don't need to take a beautiful home and, you know what? It's not a fifth wheel and it's not a 30-footer.
He isn't over his
But
head.
it's not small either, you know, and it's just, you accumulate things, and I'm kind of a
Yes, because he is, because these are quick. These are not such as the next level up, which is the civil, or whichever way it's called, which is the, you know, where you have discovery and it's a much larger judgments. You know, it's not that, you know, you're going to have attorneys. Now, for Tim to appeal, it goes automatically to the next level of court. So if Tim were to lose, which he will, because he has no evidence, he cannot win a case with no evidence. There's going to be no continuation. They're not going to say, oh, well, Mr. Baker, you know, we're so sorry you didn't get that stuff in on time. We're going to give you another chance. It's not going to happen. The judge moves very quickly on these cases. That's why they ask to see things ahead of time. So the judge really has an idea of what's going on before he even gets into the courtroom. And so he's looked at everything. So you're not having to really, you know, hopefully have a ton of witnesses and all this stuff. You know, you're going in front of the judge. He's going to make a decision in like 15 minutes. I mean, it's that quick. Because these are churn and burn them out cases over here. And so for Tim to appeal, because he basically committed legal suicide, because you cannot have a defense with no actual like exhibits. There's nothing that he has, no defense. It's an AI generated letter. And it even says like, see attached. The judge is going to know he did not produce, and that he's going to be held to the same standard as if he had an attorney. They're not going to care that he went pro se. So he's literally committed a lot of legal suicide. And then the thing with the email is the thing that starts out. So his character is already going to be like, before the trial, he's already going to get hit with a spoliation of evidence. So he's just going to be committing like suicide after suicide. And then he has to get an actual appeal. And you have to put the full entire judgment plus court costs. And then you have to think you're going to go to civic court, the next level up. And that's where they have discovery. And that's where I say, well, now he's going to pay for my attorneys, because I can have him pay for my attorneys in this case. And so if he goes to appeal, that's when I pull that one out. And I hire a firm that's going to see that he's already lost and won't probably even take any money from me, because they're going to know he's going to pay for it. And they'll just rip him. So he's really got a situation on, he just hasn't understood, because he never got legal counsel. So he's been relying on these AI chatbots and his barely 9th grade education. It's bad. It's bad, guys.
Minimalist. I don't have it.
It's good for me.
One frying pan, you know, essentially. But there's stuff in here. There's weight.
What evidence did he spoil? Well, Tim was asked to produce an email, and he said the email was deleted. And having a business and him having been somebody who was already knowing he was taking legal action against other YouTube channels at the time by striking their channels, he shouldn't have been deleting anything that he was talking about doing anything with his business, because he should understand that you're going to potentially get called on that. And if you don't have it, just saying you deleted it isn't going to fly. This is a business tort case. This isn't a civil, like, personal case. So the rules are a lot different. And they're harsher with monetary penalties, which hurt people a lot more than anything you can do in a federal court. I promise you.
Around, and it's just, it's not something sitting next to somebody's house that's empty, and they got to put everything in it every time they want to go camping. Like, well, grab us a frying pan, grab some water.
No, that's good.
No, it's full on stock.
That's fine by me. I won't be. We'll be having a party over here, Debbie. Because he has no defense. There's nothing, there's none of the sort of wishy-washy that happens in any other court. Virginia is notorious for its legal handling, and Tim has nothing. He's already in trouble for not having an email. And his reason for not having it is not going to be well received by a judge.
and it's not for sale, and it's not going to be for sale, and it's not for travel. It is a stationary unit. But I want to travel, but I can't travel without a camper. I'm not going to do a tent, and I'm not going to be a lay down thing only. So we're going to see where it goes. I'm going to keep looking, but I got to take a break right now. Let's get out here. I got it. Let's enjoy our day. I'll fill you in as I know more. I had some things. I'm glad I didn't make the video. Like I said, I bought 4 units already and changed my mind.
Of course you have, because you know you got to travel in 5 days, Tim. You got to make some decisions. And how are you going to just get campgrounds in Virginia like that? Do you know this is the height? People are like, this is the final weeks. The weather is gorgeous. Okay. In Virginia, it's like been up at the hundreds. Okay. Gorgeous, just clear blue sky days. People love these days for the beach, fry themselves to death out there on the sand. Just gorgeous. I'm about to go outside and wash my dogs. It is gorgeous out there. And I have an umbrella though I'm sitting under. And so to get actual places to stay August the 13th with the schools about to be going back in a week or so. Oh Lord, good luck. I mean, and I wouldn't want to be just sleeping at a random truck stop in Virginia Beach, Tim. Might need to just think about trying to get a extended stay hotel room in Chesapeake or something. You're going to have a time and a half, tell you.
And they all were, the first day were those coffins. No coffin.
Yeah.
No cramper. The ones I'm looking at are cramp enough. I mean, basically they're about as big as this front room here, but you can stand up in it. And that makes all the difference, folks. That makes all the difference. So yeah, I'll own 2. Can't take your money with you. And it is money that you can turn back into the money or more.
See, Tim talking about turning it back into money, because that's all he thinks about.
Money than you paid for it, or even a little bit less, whatever. That's life. But you can either just leave it in the bank, or you can sleep in it. You can travel with it. You can ride it, put it into a motorcycle, do something with it. You know, people just have all their money tied up in cash. You know, what's it for? It's to use. It's to, it's to enjoy your life. You only get one go around. Let's crush it.
Yeah, whatever. Tim.
Hey, good morning.
All right, guys, let's send out this poll. And I certainly appreciate you guys joining me for this impromptu live stream. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Is Sarasota Tim planning to travel to Virginia Beach for court on August the 13th? 60. We're ending the poll. 110 votes. Thank you guys so much. 68% say Tim is never traveling. All talk. We'll find out. Well, at the moment, it certainly has been this summer. Yes, and he'll make money doing it. 19%. No, he's traveling the other way. 13%. So thank you guys. We'll find out on Thursday. Certainly do appreciate you all for joining me here for this impromptu live. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Angel of Glass. I don't know if I can see you as quickly to say thank you for having been here. I know you were in and out today. Thank you all for joining us on this live today. And we'll see you on Thursday what ends up happening. It's the worst time to travel now. Yeah, it's about the worst time. Yeah, it's okay. We don't care. Everybody's late and we don't care. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.